Well, good morning. Hello, my crafty friends. It's Diane Evans with stampingwithdiane.com. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the interior of British Columbia. So, if this is one of your first times joining me through YouTube, make sure that you do set for notifications and also hit the bell and you'll get notified every time I upload a new video. So today is a day that what we're going to do is we are going to share something that's retiring and something from the last chance list. And there's a few things that are happening just now, and I kind of want to just go over that. And but I'll probably do that as I go through. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a card. Hello, Becky. Thank you so much. I'm going to be using the stamp set. It's called Reflected in Nature. Like this particular one is, I think it's one of those stamp sets that kind of got a little missed and it might not be really seen in the annual or in the J2D mini catalog. And that mini catalog is retiring on January the 3rd. There is a last chance list that is coming out, and I'm sure most of your demonstrators will have that for you. What I'll do is I'll just come down here and we'll go on to there. Whoops, we'll just go down to the whole thing here. So the last chance list is a 2-page list that you need a magnifying glass for. Seriously, you really need something for that. When I open it up on my computer, I just spread make my screen the largest that I can see it. But there's a couple things, and I wish I'd made this a little bit bigger. But on here, this states that there's some stars on there, and the stars just indicate that they may be retiring as a bundle in the new catalog, and other things that there's certain things in the annual or the mini catalog that will not be coming available until back when the new J2D comes in. So, and then there's some discounted prices on here, and quite honestly, they're not the best discounted prices. There's an awful lot on the French stamps, but not a heck of a lot on the English speaking stamps. So boohoo for us, right? So, but in any event, I say get them. If there's something that you want, get it while you can, because when it retires, it retires. So what I wanted to do was, like I say, this Reflected in Nature. And I honestly can't even tell you what page it's on. Somebody can help me out. But it's in the J2D mini catalog. And to me, it's not a Christmas stamp. It's not a stamp that is for any of the seasons, actually. It's a beautiful scene stamp. Now, if you were from the South Pacific, you probably won't enjoy this too much, but I love the cabin feel and I love the reflection in the water. And some of the sayings on here are just amazing. Now, I have done a few cards with this, but not cards that you've actually seen me do because they were for tutorials. So in any event, I'm going to be playing with this. It is a Claremont stamp. And let's see. Oh, that wasn't very good. It looks like I've got a bunch of stuff on it. Looks like it's got fuzzy on it. And then I'm also going to use this little eagle that's in there. And I'm going to do each day as an adventure, I think, is what I'm going to put on the sentiment on there. There's like, may your journey take you to many new and exciting places. Really nice sort of type sentiments, even if you don't use them to go along with this. To me, this is a bit of a masculine feel, but we'll see how it turns out. I am using my Stamparatus because there's a particular way that I actually want to do something with this stamp. I want to have it so that in such a way that it's going to look like it's more of a reflection on here. I find that if I stamp it all, and yes, this is a distinctive stamp, but it tends to pick up too much color. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually moving this down into this corner here. And I'm going to put my, now I'm using different colors than what I usually use. I'm using Sosa. No, oh my goodness. I am using Sahara sand. And I'm just going to put it down in that spot. And you know what? I want to make sure it kind of sticks there. So I'm just putting a bit of tape because I'm going to be lifting this up and down a few times. And then I'm just going to put that in there. I don't even want it to, I don't want to put the magnet on here. So that's why I've used my repositional tape. And what I'm doing is I'm just turning this over. You've never used it. Oh my goodness, Maureen has it and she's never used it. This to me would remind me something of, I'm sure something in Newfoundland. Would it not, Maureen? Like, to me, this reminds me of, I can tell you a couple of names of lakes around Kamloops here. So I'm just going to put this up here. I love that Peaceful Cabin one because it reminds me of a place where I used to do all my stamp camps. And yeah. All right. So I have that there. I have these. And I am using the color combination that I'm actually using is I'm using the Misty Moonlight and I'm using Sahara Sand. And I'm going to show you a few things that I'm going to do with this. So what I want to do is I want to come in with my Misty Moonlight and I am going to stamp this once. Yeah, it's beautiful. I can honestly tell you, I have seen an amazing card done with this where they've actually colored the cabin to make it look like a red cabin, which kind of reminds me of a ski cabin too. So, but in any event, so I'm just going to ink this up. And you can see by it being a distinctive stamp how it does kind of ink uneven, but I'm going to make it more uneven. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that onto my stamp. And, you know, I've got this piece and it's a 4x4 piece. And honestly, it's not, I'm going to be cutting it anyways. So, all right. So I'm going to ink it up once more. Oh, I can see I didn't ink it properly. All right. And then I'm using my little Chucky and I am doing a video on this. I had somebody graciously donated a couple of glass jars for me so that I can show them. That's on my agenda to do tomorrow. Okay, so you can kind of see that it's a little washed out and everything, but I like this area there. So what I want to do is I want to come up with my Misty Moonlight and I'm just going to re-stamp that part up there. And I'm going to do it a little bit more because I want it to be quite dark on the top and I want it lighter on the bottom. I'm going to do that a couple of times. So the other one I had actually done in Evening Evergreen, the other card I had done. And I don't even think I can show that card. Oh, I might be able to. And one more time, because I want it good and dark. All right. So see how I've got that? I've got it so that it's a little bit lighter on the bottom and darker on the top. I love the snow that's in between the trees. I think they've done a great job with this distinctive stamp. All right. I like masculine type stamps. So now what I've got is I've got some Misty Moonlight. I've got some Sahara Sand. Now the Sahara Sand, I turned around and I ran it through this Timber 3D embossing folder. This Timber 3D embossing folder, and you can kind of see it, is not retiring. I will let you know that that's going to carry forward. But I wanted to do that ahead of time because I've got my cut and emboss all packed up for a class that I'm doing tonight. All right, so I want to do something a little bit different with this base. I don't want just a regular card base. So I have it 5.5 by 8.5, and I've scored it at 4 1/4. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to mark this at 1 1/4 inches. I think that's going to give me enough. So let me just double check. Yeah. Yeah. So it's 1 1/4 inches. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line this up with my score line right here. And this is going to be the front is what I'm doing. And I'm just cutting up to that mark. So it's just like this. So when I score that, oh shoot, I want that to go this way. So I'm going to have this go. I come in with my bone folder. I wanted the 1 1/4 on this side. And I am actually going to tape that right down. I'm going to use my seal. Maybe I'll be using my glue and not my seal. And I'm going to glue that right down onto the front of this card. I think I'm almost out of glue. For this one anyways. Can I get anything more? There we go. Oops. I'll just bring in another one. This one might have to be primed. There we go. And I'm just going to lay that right down there on the edge. So it's right like that. And then this piece will be like this. Now, this piece happens to be, this is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. Oh, I did do it square. So I want this piece cut off. I want it to be 4 by 4. So I'm just going to come in and use my primer. I'm going to cut this piece 4 inch by 4 inch. Okay. And then I want this piece 1 inch by the 4 inch. And I just want a bit of texture on the back of that. So this is how I'm going to just going to go ahead and I'm going to put this onto there and this is going to go onto here. But I think it just looks too stark for me. So I'm just going to come in with my blending brushes. Yeah, the worst thing is buying yourself a stamp set and then not doing anything with it. So like I say, I just want a bit of color. Plus also by rubbing this blending brush on here, it's going to show more of that timber look, right? And I know I can see that I should have had another piece for the inside as well. But that's easily rectified as well. Okay, and then this. And all it's doing, it's going from there to there. So it's not making a big difference. And I could actually go more around the edges, but we'll see what happens. Say, I just want that timber to kind of show up. And really, you probably can't see it that much in the camera, but the timber embossing is now showing up a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and put that onto that piece there and this onto the front. All right, so I'll just use my glue for that. Now, just thinking. Yeah, no, that'll work. So I'm just going to go like this. And we're going to use another technique that we probably haven't used in forever. But I think this this seam just sort of says, yep, you got to use this one, Diane. So see, this is only going to open up this way to a 4 by 4 card, right? All right, so this part here, I think needs to be trimmed down a little bit. So I'm just going to trim it a little bit. And I'm not going right to the edge. I'm just sort of going every which way because it's kind of an uneven amount. So I'm just moving the paper and just doing it like this. And then you're going to say, after I do this next step, you're going to go, oh, what did you do that for? But anyways, all right. So we're just going to go like that. I really like this in this misty moonlight. The green looked really kind of nice too. Okay, so here comes. Now this is going to be onto a, and that's almost too big. So let's see. Or not big enough. I just want it to be just a bare thing. So I'm just going to have to take off a tiny little bit off of here. I'll try that to begin with. There we go. See, it's just a tiny bit of an edge. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use an old technique that we did. So we're just going to take our scissors, and you used to have distressing tools. I've always used my scissors. So I just want to rough this part up. Because really, seriously, this picture really looks like it's been ripped. And then we're just going to do this here as well. And I'm going to go ahead and do it to the misty moonlight as well. Like I say, I haven't used this technique in a long time, but when I brought out this stamp set, it just sort of said, yep, you better do it. Whoops, we really did make that rough, didn't we? That's okay. I can live with that. Whoops. I don't know if I can live with both of those like that. We'll see. Now I've got my color right here. Really did make it. Oh my goodness. Oh, that'll work. I'll be able to put that on top of there. That'll work. All right. So I'm actually going to go ahead and put that on with dimensionals, and it's onto a dark color. So I'm just going to use up my black dimensionals here. There we go. Sure. Go ahead, Case. You bet, Maureen. This is, wait till I show you it in the green. You'll like it in the green as well. A little bit different of a different look. Let's see. There we go. I just cut this off a little bit because I think I trimmed it a little bit too far on that other side. I want some of that blue showing. There we go. All right, so that's going to go on this part here. Now, what I also want to do is I want to put that sentiment on there. So let's see. Right, this part is so hard when you have. So the sentiment I'm doing is each day is an adventure. So I want to show you something I'm going to do with this as well. So I'm just going to go in. And I'm going to just stamp this. And I'm just going to turn around and I'm going to fussy cut this out anyways. So I've got it each day as an adventure. And then this little eagle here, I am going to, let's see which way it goes so that I make sure I get it going the right way. Yeah, there we go. Then I'm just going to put that up there. And I've got some halos on there, but you know what? I'm covering that up anyways, so we're all good. So then I'm just going to, again, take anybody that knows me knows that I love to fussy cut. So I'm just going to actually and then And then I'm just going to line this up onto here because I'm actually going to pop this part up too. But I want a bit of a border around this part. Probably should have put that on with repositional tape as well. But we're all good. You know what? I think I'm just going to do that myself a favor and just put a tiny bit of positional tape on there. Now, like I say, this embossing folder isn't retiring, but the stamp set is. And I always find that you find a use for a stamp set after it's retired. And then you're busy frantically checking out online to make sure you can get it. So, and it's not reduced. Stampin' Up! Doesn't usually reduce their stamp sets because they make them. They don't need to. They only make as many as they have to, and then they donate all the rest of their stamps. So when you get a stamp sale, that's kind of amazing too. So, all right, so let's just get this. I might want to trim that a little bit. Let's see how that's looking. It's kind of rustic anyways, so just going to go and trim that just a tiny bit. Yeah, any outdoorsy type person, anybody that has a cabin out at the lake, this would be a nice one for them as well. All right. So now what I'm going to do is we are now going to wrap some of this twine, and this is the linen twine. So I want to wrap that around here before I put it down. And I think I'll wrap it around the twice. Did I glue that on there? Yes. Let's just take this over here. And what we're going to do, this is just adding a bit of embellishments, but in such a way that it's kind of a subtle embellishment. And I'm just going to tie it in a knot. And if you don't get this tight enough, you can always go and tack it on to the back or tighten it up from the back. But this should be tight enough. There we go. So just bring that down there. There we go. This is going to go here. And then we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to stick this on. And I thought I had my dimensionals there. Yeah, I did. So I'm going to actually use, I'm going to glue that right onto that piece, and then I'm going to stick it, I'll raise it up onto the card. Let's go like this. Well, a Soyuz would know this kind of, these kind of sceneries too. Anybody like that is around any kind of a cabin or a cottage. I know here in the West, we call them cabins, Western Canada. And I think all down in the States and Eastern Canada, it is definitely called cottages. So I'm just going to take this and we're just going to lift this up. This onto here. And I'm going to put one more up there. You know what? I can put this piece right there. So we're going to stick this on here like so. There we go. All right, so I'm just going to put this directly right onto my card with glue. My ripped piece and all. There we go. Just like so. And then this piece is just going to go here. me and my fingers here. So let's try this. There we go. And let's go ahead and put that right up there. Just like so. That. Now, just a couple more things we're going to do. I've got a piece. I should have had a 4x4 piece. So let me just grab a piece of cardstock and I'll just quickly cut this. This will be 4x4 for the inside. It's nice to have my cardstock right beside me. Well, put it this way, certain colors of my cardstock are right beside me. Keep wanting to move those eagles out of the way. Now, I am thinking to myself, I've got to have an eagle on the inside, right? So let's see. I'm sure this is the right size. Yes, 4x4. Like I say, it's beautiful scenery. It really, really is. We've got to remember our people that support us, right? And we'll put one more down there. There we go. That's just going to go on the inside here. Yeah, the Peaceful Cabin is. I'm going to say, I used to give day-long retreats at a cabin just outside of Kamloops here. And it was solar powered and it was wind powered. And after a day, let me tell you, it was quite interesting. After a day, because it also had that type of a toilet too. So, a day of women in the cabin. But it was so nice and so peaceful. And all right, so we have that part there. Now, I wanted to put on these brush metallic. The brush metallic, and they were in, what colors are those in? There's one in copper, there's one in brushed gold, and then there's one in, I don't know, it's almost like a pewter sort of type color. So it's these ones right here. So I'm going to switch them up because I want them to be a little bit different. So I am going in with my Stampin' Blends, my Misty Moonlight ones, and I don't know if I'm going to need the dark one or not. Yep, I'm going to take the dark, and I'm just going to just color these a bit. And that's going to give me a bit more of a grayed off blue is more what it's going to look like. Because we've got to use our blends, right? So, let's see. Oh, good morning, Marjorie. Well, trust me, I thought today I was going to be late. It's quite funny because actually I've been all over the place. I've been everywhere, man. Okay, so we're just going to put one there. I don't want to take that gold off yet. I mean that metallic off. Let's see. Go one there. I'm going to move this one up just a tad. And then I can go ahead and put this one there. So that gives me a bit more of a masculine type look. And there we go. So, like I say, we are using the Reflected in Nature. This is part of the ones that are retiring. Also, another thing, you only have 2 more days to take advantage of that fantastic Join the Community offer. That bundle is, or that offer is good up until, well, I guess 11 o'clock Mountain Time. And if you want to join the community, I'd love to have you join my team. We have lots of fun. We do a lot of different sort of things. And plus we do a lot of crafting together, stamping together, that sort of stuff. So like I say, if you want to take advantage of that, for $100, you get $165 worth of stuff. It's amazing. So there's our card. It's just like open card, just like that. Kind of give us a little bit of a different look. So anyways. So, last chance list. I'm sure that Judy's given you one of those last chance lists. Mine is attached with to my all my different blog posts, my Facebook, and that sort of stuff. Um, get it while you can because you won't be able to get any of this stuff. And it also it's while quantities last. So if quantities run out, you might be out of luck. So, but that's usually on the dies and that sort of stuff. They always guarantee it for a stamp set that you'll get it. So that's a good thing anyways. Oh, and I was going to show you one more. Let me just quickly show you. And this one's done. Oh, I'll show you this one. This one, because this one's done in the greens, is done like this. I prefer the blue personally, but the green is kind of nice. I did go a little bit lighter on this part, but kind of the same sort of card, but a little tiny bit different. So in any event. All right. So I won't keep you anymore. I hope you have a great day. Make sure to get some crafting in there. And, you know, if you want, share your projects with us. I would love for you to do that. Give me the thumbs up, share my videos, share them from my Facebook page, or share them from my YouTube channel. Anyways, you guys have a great day. Judy will be back tomorrow at 11 o'clock with something else from the annual catalog. Anyways, have a great day. Bye for now.